If we want to green the world economy and stop burning hydrocarbon and stop burning coal, if we're going to have any hope of feeding and clothing 7 or 8 billion people on this planet, we need to find a better way to use electrical energy. We're talking here about pulse electrical power, a greener, more efficient, more powerful way to use electrical energy. If you're one of the lucky ones we invite to our labs, it's better than going to Disneyland.
Welcome to Toulouse, guys. We're happy to see you. So pulse power is just a way to compress energy in order to deliver the same amount of energy in a very short period of time. You can create things that are absolutely impossible to do. And the level of power we can reach could be the billions of watts, the same level of power as a nuclear power plant.
So you can directly experience the difference between power and energy. We just take that energy from your iPhone battery and we liberate that amount of energy for a few millionths of a second into a metric ton of water, 2,200 pounds of water in a steel tank that weighs about 700 pounds, which creates a vacuum as the bubble collapses, and it lifts that whole tank to a shocking amount of work. We just want people to feel how much power is liberated from that tiny amount of electrical energy.
iPulse's technology stems from defense work done by the major nuclear powers that wanted to simulate the effects of a nuclear weapon without having to detonate a nuclear weapon. iPulse has taken that core defense technology but made it commercial by basically making repeatable, robust, and reliable sources of pulsed power that can do practical things.
iPulse has developed game-changing technology, and game-changing means hugely disruptive to a whole range of industries. The manufacturing sector, the energy sector, the mining sector. Those will be 3 primary focuses for our tech.
Simply put, IROX breaks rock. So what you're seeing here is ore from the Escondida mine in Chile. Electrical streamers pass at multiple times per second through that rock, bursting it from the inside. And very quickly, small pebbles are reduced down to a powder. Because we use a tensile force to burst the rock from the inside as opposed to a compressive force to push it from the outside, that requires up to 80% less energy. Around 4% of the world's electrical energy is used to break rock. We think we can cut that by 2/3, if not more. At the same time, we aim to increase recovery of critical minerals like copper that are needed for the energy transition.
This is almost like the holy grail that the mining industry has been searching for decades. The technologies that iPulse brings will help mining industry become part of the solution rather than being part of the problem.
G-Pulse is targeting geothermal applications. The basic idea is to integrate our pulse power to help the conventional tool. It's like if we were softening the rock thanks to high pulse power.
The concept of building a huge heat exchanger underground is already proven. But the challenge is to reduce the drilling cost to make this concept economically viable. G-Pulse has already reduced the cost of drilling by 70%, and we are going to commercialize it by 2027.
In addition to that, G-Pulse can be a tool set to mine hard rocks on a continuous basis. We're going to change underground mining from a drill, evacuate, blast, come back, mark out, into a continuous drill, 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 drill.
Blue Spark uses high pulse power to clear blockages in wellbores. We discharge it very rapidly to create shock waves, one every few seconds, thousands of times in the wellbore. And those shock waves are what begin to break up those blockages and disaggregate the materials that are preventing flow from happening in the well.
You can see with just a few pulses how effectively we were able to clean that material.
In many cases, what operators have done in past is actually just abandon the well. They are scaled up to such a degree there's been no available solution.
BMAX utilizes a completely different way to work with metal. We use pulse electrical power, and we make that metal, any metal, think and behave like it's a liquid without getting hot. We manufacture objects with very high quality and very low cost in a very green way.
First, we're going to talk about welding. So how we can weld this inner material together, which is normally non-weldable. So we put the two parts inside the coil, and we're going to push the aluminum onto the copper. And it's a cold process. The two materials are sharing electrons together. It's an atomic bonding. It's a real game changer in the industry because you can really bring the mix of different materials that are very exotic and that can be done with conventional techniques. BMAX is very interesting in terms of carbon emissions because we are using less electricity, we use less time to process the part, and we can offer the possibility to use new hybrid material to get the final part as well.
We're concentrated on two major projects. One is the crimping of high voltage cables, primarily for electric vehicles, and the cold welding of heating, ventilation, and air conditioning assemblies for the automotive market. But that's really just the tip of the iceberg for us. We did perfume caps for Dior perfume bottles, and the shape could not be made with any other process. Even though it looks like a part that was hand engraved, we were able to make millions of these parts by using the BMAX electrohydraulic forming process and using the water to create these parts.
We have developed a number of applications in the BMAX space which are ready for global commercialization. Blue Spark, it's an existing business. It's gone through its full development life cycle. You know, we treated 1,000 wells. If we think about the fundamental underlying value of, say, the IROX business and how much money we can simply save the copper industry, plus minus $18 billion a year, that's a significant value proposition in its own right. None in the least is the G-Pulse solution, because the G-Pulse solution, we can access geothermal energy that's essentially free.
It's one thing to see it on paper or even in a presentation, to actually come out into this workshop and see it in so many different applications. It is technology that I think will be an important part of the change in our industry in terms of how we break through with some techniques that we've used for 100, 150 years. So it is truly quite amazing.
If you think about the team at iPulse, it's a very, very broad church. You've got people with really cutting-edge technical skills. You've got people with scientific skills, you've got people with financial skills. It's a complete package.
I really struggle to think about a competitor to iPulse. Thinking back, Amazon, thinking about Apple, thinking about companies like that really offer disruptive products to the market, that's the way I think about iPulse.
The other side of it is we've got deep understanding of capital market and a deep operational expertise. All in all, the business is well positioned to take itself to the next level.
We've invested about $1 billion privately, millions of man hours of writing code, machine learning, software, hardware development, and now we're beginning to explain to the world that we have a new way and a fundamentally different way to basically benefit our species by finding a better way to use electrical energy.